Now we're going to go in another system.
Yeah.
You used to plug this, and now the system's coming back around.
Good.
Crystal knows.
I'm an investor in Crystal Knows. I plug it all the
Okay.
time. I'm an investor in Crystal Knows.
Crystal Knows is sick now.
Okay, it's unbelievable, and I'm going to tell you guys right now. Like even before I,
You're welcome. Just put the cash.
thank you
under
very
the
much.
table.
No. I didn't invest that much. But you know who also followed along with my investment? Microsoft, aka LinkedIn, and Salesforce.
Yeah.
And I knew when I did that, I'm like, okay, winner, chicken dinner. But I fell in love with it 3 years ago because
It was so different then.
For sure. Now today, I don't do a meeting. I don't talk to someone without going to LinkedIn. Or now we have it on Salesforce on our CRM. Do you have it on your CRM yet?
No, it's not integrated yet.
Okay, when that happens, now all of a sudden you're like Crystal. Well, okay, I want you describe it.
Yeah.
Because I know what I look for, but what do you look for?
So we used to do disc profiles on Tony Robbins, right?
Yeah.
That was what everybody did, and it was free. Now they're charging for it, so it kind of forced everybody to find alternatives. Well, Crystal Knows is the alternative that we found.
Yep.
So not only will it do a disc profile for somebody, but it's going to compare my disc profile with your disc profile,
Bingo.
help me understand our similarities, help me understand our differences. And then the really, really gangster part of it is I could say, I'm going to meet with Tom and I need to give him bad news. Yeah. And it's literally going to tell me how to talk to you. What I should say, what I shouldn't say.
There's a drop-down menu of all the. Do I want to sell an appointment? Do I want to talk? Do I want to ask for a job? Like there's like 25 different things that you can engage with, and it gives you the exact language.
It's insane.
It is insane.
It's so insane. And then it integrates with Gmail. So now if I'm going to send an email to somebody, it tells me like use emojis, don't use emojis. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So we're using that now.
Yeah.
So after they come in the office, they do a Crystal Knows profile. And then we sit down with them on an interview. We typically do a 2-on-1, my sales manager and a female. My sales manager is like 300 pounds, big buff dude, can kind of be a little intimidating sometimes. So we like to have that female perspective in there. We have an executive assistant on our team, so she'll sit in on that interview as well. And it just kind of adds that female vibe to it, so we balance. And so they do a 2-on-1 interview. They kind of go through some of the disc profile stuff. Make sure it's accurate because you will learn a lot of people BS their disc profiles because they try to portray the profile they think you want, and it's not necessarily what the profile really is. So you kind of validate it or confirm that that's who they really are. And then the final interview, if they get through that, is an expectations interview. And this to me is the most important of all of them. This is just my sales manager because he's the one who's going to hold them accountable. Now, all that stuff we talked about earlier with 4 huddles a week, 4 role play calls a week, we outline exactly what we expect from them, and they're literally signing it in writing. In exchange, we're also going through what they can expect from us. Here's the tools, here's the system, here's the training, here's the accountability, like here's everything. Let's put all the cards on the table up front. We even go into, should a sensitive issue arise, how do you want me to approach you with it? How honest do you want me to be? How do I approach you? How do I win with you? How do I lose with you? Like we go through all that in that expectations interview so that we get to start off knowing exactly who we're getting in bed with. Right. We don't want any mysteries. So that's
it's called getting married with like 8 months of wedding counseling before you do it. That's huge. That's a great next level point for everybody. So let's go through the process one more time. Video vetting first.
So landing page first.
Telling everybody. Having it on the landing page. Video describing it. Then video interview back and forth.
One way technically.
One way technically. And then
office meeting. Disc profile.
Crystal Knows. Shout out. Love it.
Then the 2-on-1 interview.
2-on-1 interview.
And then the final 1-on-1 expectations interview.
What if they don't? What if it's 2 female partners? Should they have someone of the opposite sex inside there?
No, we just have a unique scenario. We have a really big intimidating sales manager, and I think that he has a natural tendency to kind of intimidate people and scare them. So having that female vibe, just that's for us, our environment, it just makes the room feel more comfortable.
Cool.
And I like to get 2 different opinions on somebody too, because he thinks one way, and our executive assistant's actually his sister who's wired completely opposite of how he's wired. And so it's nice to have those 2 different points of view on it. 100%. So I think regardless if it's a male and a female or not, just having 2 different people in there so you can get 2 different perspectives, just like on those role play calls, having that observer is really important.
I agree. And then the expectation.
Yes, and that's the last one before we hire them.
And if they make it over that, then they're in. Okay. That's a lot of hoops to get into playing your sandbox, sort of metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, but I mean, we invest so much time into people. I mean, they go through a whole 1-week boot camp once they come on board. I mean, that's 5 hours a day for 5 days. Like if we're going to invest 25 hours of time into somebody, we got to make sure they're worth it. That's super, super important for us.